I took profit at 15 cents 15. Price is struggling. Set your stop losses at around $60,360. The next leg will be to the upside. Bitcoin just flashed a massive indicator signal that we need to talk about, because that might change everything. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about and what I believe is going to happen after today's daily close. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on a Sunday. We hit it off with something really interesting that I had found here this morning, and that is that the overall net balance of new wallets over 1,000 Bitcoin, which means whales, these people are considered whales, is increasing at a pace like we have never seen before in a previous run. But this, of course, includes the ETF buyers. Now look at this. Between January, where we were at 358,000 Bitcoin that were held by whales, we are now at almost 2 million Bitcoins that are held by whales. So that means between January and now, they were coming 1.7 million Bitcoins into new hands for new whales in the market, which is insane. We have, like I said, we have never seen this at this kind of pace. And that just shows you, if we keep going at this rate, potentially 8 to 9 months are left before there are no Bitcoins anymore available that can change hands, because the exchanges will be exhausted. They will dry up. They don't have anything anymore. The miners will also not have anything anymore, because they are selling to whoever wants to buy first. And we are buying already more than what the miners are producing every single day through the ETFs and institutions. So who is going to sell? For a really long time, I believe nobody is willing to sell until Bitcoin hits like $200, $300, $400, even $500,000. So there will be a huge supply shock be happening around, what time will this be? Around next year, April, maybe already in March, it's going to start. Next year, March, April, May, you're going to see a massive supply shock, and that will potentially be the run into the bubble where we create our final all-time high for this run. And from there, it's going to burst, when people start distributing coins again because they want to get rid of it. But that is something that I did not account for. I saw this morning that could change the game in terms of the targets that are set. I think $200,000 to $300,000 is easily achievable right now when you take into consideration that the supply shock where we run out of Bitcoin on exchanges completely is actually happening in this cycle. And that was something that I now here in the short term, what is going to happen today? First of all, the Bitcoin price is consolidating around the CME closing price from Friday, which means that most likely, if Bitcoin is not making a move to the upside for the next 9 hours, we will not get a CME gap. Is it 9 hours? No, sorry, for the next 11 and a half hours. So we will not get a CME gap if we keep current price levels. So it will be good, because if that will be the case, the next leg will be to the upside. I'm gonna show you in a moment why the next leg will be to the upside and why it will be not going to the downside. One reason for this is here on the weekly chart, this hash ribbon buy signal. Remember guys, when we get a hash ribbon buy signal, especially on the weekly chart, it means miners stopped capitulating, and historically these buy signals were one of the best long-term buying opportunities for Bitcoin. Look here at the bottom on the 9th of January, then here again, local bottom in October last year. And this here marks another local bottom with the weekly candle that we are currently forming. And here I can guarantee you, if we close this weekly candle above the 20 moving average, that would be $62,000. This is potentially one of the bullish weekly candle closes that I have ever seen. And I'm since 2015 in the market. So that will be really crazy to see something like this. Can we do that after CME opens? Yes, there's 1 hour left for the daily close after CME is open to push to $62,000 and close above the 20 moving average and continue then to go higher. Again, even if we close below, and are still above $60,000, that is still bullish because we are above that major old resistance area, which has now turned into support. And if we can one more time show that we are holding the support, next week will be definitely a leg to the upside. Some of you guys will say that the death cross is telling otherwise, but again, you have to understand these death crosses can also fake out, and it happened multiple times in Bitcoin's history. It's not the first time you see something like this, and from experience I can tell you, when we are seeing a smooth angle like this here, it is usually a fake out. For not being a fake out, price needs to start basically reversing this whole candle up here. The only problem that I have currently with the price action is that here on the daily chart we have a big fair value gap up here. So in that candle. And why did we get this fair value gap? Because we were closing here this fair value gap of this candle. So this kind of pushed up to balance this out, but now we have this side that also needs to be balanced out because that was a really crazy push in one single day. If we would have done it like a multiple candles, would be not a problem. But like this, we left this footprint behind from 59,500 to 57,800 approximately. So there is a potential that we reverse all the way back down here to fill this gap and then only continue to the upside. Let me rephrase that, imbalance. So this imbalance and then reverse back to the upside. So that is just something you should keep that on your radar. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it is there. So just keep it in your mind somewhere. Unless Bitcoin, like I said, gets a crazy move to the downside, worst case possibility is we start consolidating a little bit here before we get the push to the upside, then this will be reversed. We get a golden cross and Bitcoin will continue the trajectory to the upside. So otherwise, even if we close today as it is, potentially tomorrow we get another candle to the upside because this could be a tweezer bottom, not a spinning top, potentially, after such an impulsive move, which would then also signal continuation to the upside. Here on the line chart also, most important level that Bitcoin needs to hold is that green area here on the line chart from $60,000 to $60,600. As long as we remain in that area, you will also see here a bounce in the next resistance level of $62,000. So we tried today once again to get up there, but got hammered down. And that had multiple reasons. For once, it was the 20 moving average on the weekly chart. It was then the 50 moving average on the daily chart. And also here, we broke down out of that ascending triangle that we have formed. So now Bitcoin is bouncing a little bit back. I have seen this before where Bitcoin breaks down but reverses straight back to the upside. But if this, let me put it this way, if the next 1 hourly candle is not back above $61,000, we might come a little bit lower here, back to our entry of like a little bit under $60,000. So if you're in this trade setup that I had given here, set your stop losses at around $60,360. So if we get down here, then at least you walk away with some profit and you can re-long from the initial entry, because I have a hard time seeing that we are breaking that low here of $59,400. So why do I say that? Because we have here an order block in that area, and that is underlying support for the price action, and hence why just above here is a good level to long Bitcoin from there. Again, if we are getting a proper 30-minute candle close above $61,100, also this becomes a good area to long. But here, I really need to see now bulls stepping up and pushing definitely back into the ascending triangle here. So let me actually make this a different color. On ZoomX, there is still the campaign going on starting tomorrow, where we draw every single week 2 lucky winners. We have drawn yesterday one. I have to contact ZoomX for that to find out how you get the $500, but I saw your email, don't worry. The team forwarded it to me, so I'm going to find out how that works. And if you sign up on ZoomX, you get $10 just for signing up that you can immediately trade with. So go and take whatever you can, what is for free here right now, because you need all the liquidity before we get in the crazy phase, especially with the supply shock being just 9 minutes out, you know. So That is insane, guys. So go and take advantage of that. And also there is a deposit bonus of up to $45,000 and also a trading reward depending on how much volume you create. So there is so much incentive to be on there. And also don't forget, if you deposit $100, there is an insurance coverage on the $100 from tomorrow onwards. If you lose your $100, you get it back. So go sign up, deposit $100, take advantage of the insurance, and I will give you some really amazing trades. We will turn the $100 into $1,000 with the link in the description, of course. So now on the daily chart here with the VPVR, I don't want to speak so much about the VPVR. What is more interesting is the EMA ribbon. As you can see, price is struggling to get above the EMA ribbon, but once we are breaking above $62,000, I think it's done. You know, at that point, Bitcoin will just continue to rally here to the upside because bulls will start to take back control by breaking the $63,400 level. And then the last point that needs to be conquered by the bulls is the $67,000 range, because on the higher time frames, that is the point of control that is currently held by the bears. So, but you see here, the momentum is definitely shifting in our favor on the MACD. We are potentially tonight getting the bullish crossover that we are looking for to get a buy signal. The RSI is just going sideways because we're consolidating, but we are still on track for everything here to continue to move into higher prices. Also here, this trade on the 1 hourly chart still playing out as intended, but here same thing, guys, you know, $60,360 should be your stop loss, just in case that we get stopped out. Here we are in since $67,000, so it is okay, you know. So if we get stopped out, to take the money and run. We made here 5% on the way to the upside, so absolutely fine, you know. So if we get out before we potentially relong all of this, then in terms of liquidity, here's another reason why we are going down a little bit. And that is because over the weekend, some smart-ass people thought it's a good idea to over-leverage themselves on a weekend and start longing Bitcoin. So now they get punished for that. We could, for this reason, see a $1,000 drop in Bitcoin to $59,600 to liquidate all of them, retest the EMA ribbon here on the 4 hourly chart at the same time, and only then see continuation to the upside. So be prepared for that. That is right now a real possibility, but overall we are looking really bullish here also, because the 50 moving average is about to turn around here, also to give us a buy signal and a golden cross potentially somewhere by the end of next week, maybe a little bit earlier. If the Bitcoin price starts going to make crazy moves like this here, then it will happen earlier, then we get a steeper angle like this. Yeah, earliest would be technically Monday, which I don't believe, tomorrow, because we need to move to like $67,000 for this. But end of next week, that sounds plausible to me, to take out all the overhanging liquidity that we also see here on the 3 months chart on the liquidation heat map. Remember, guys, these areas up here still act as a magnet for the price to come up here. Here is still over $10 billion worth of short liquidity stacked above us. And if we want to take out long liquidity, we have to go deep, guys. You know, so here $58,000 or $54,500 to grab here what? To grab here 1.6 billion. So 1.6 against 10. Where will price go? I think it's pretty clear. Also here with the MDX algo gradient indicator, scalp gradient, you see price is a little bit overheated here, so it's normal that we come a little bit down before we get continuation. But as long as we are holding the bullish trend line here around $59,500, we should see continuation. And again, you see now this is in alignment with what I said with the liquidation levels. Also, the liquidation levels is an indicator that you get with the MDX algo suite. Remember, I said $59,600. So we could come down, get a retest here, which would be extremely bullish, bounce back up and continue to go to the upside. So definitely look out for this. I will be opening a long on Bitcoin if we are coming down here and test this green trend line here on the MDX algo. Also, the reactor indicator here showed a bearish reversal divergence but currently we are going sideways. And remember, when we are purple on this indicator, it means usually another wave is coming to the upside before we are going down. So, and also price is reflecting this usually. When we're talking then about the Bitcoin dominance for altcoins. And don't forget, guys, if you want the MDX Algo Indicator Suite, I almost forgot this, go to the description below. There is a link where you get 10% discount, but only with my link, guys. I negotiated that with you, and you know how much money we made already with that over the last couple of weeks. And you can see here how nice they are playing out with confluence, you know. So I did not see this before, but so much confluence here with what I just explained before to come down to this level. And I would not see this without these indicators. So go and make use of them, because they either save you a lot of money because you see stuff where you would have potentially lost money, or they're actually making you a lot of money. So you're either saving or making a lot of money. So go and use the link in the description below, guys. Now the Bitcoin dominance is breaking to the downside, exactly what we were talking about here over the last couple of days. So here a retest of 57% is definitely in the cards, and from there we need to reassess the situation if we get a small bounce, because Bitcoin is turning around and going higher, or that we are then finally breaking down, then get some sideways movement, and then get another leg to the downside. But the overall direction is now slowly, gradually to the downside. Altcoin starting to warm up more and more here and pushing to the upside. Also against Bitcoin pairs, you see that they are starting to get ready to the upside. So the dominance should come down significantly over the next couple of weeks here. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade altcoins, one of the platforms where I'm trading right now, where you actually also get $20 just for signing up, is Hotcoin. There's also a link in the description. What was the other thing? $20 just for signing up. And you also get a deposit bonus. So also go and check them out. I like their interface. It's actually quite comfortable to trade there. I just forgot to log in to show it to you. But yeah, there is a link in the description to go to Hotcoin too. For Ethereum, Ethereum is moving here into the 0.5 level on the Fibonacci extensions. $2,741 is definitely the next target here. We are running afterwards into this former support area, which is now acting as resistance. Look here, all the support that we got here with the wicks that have come down into it. And also here was a small order block. So, and that is telling me, even if we break the golden ratio, we will struggle to break back here this resistance that was former support, and from there go higher, especially with the golden ratio also be in alignment, just being above that. So that will be a really tough for Ethereum to crack this level. But normally you should be in now since $2,587. So you are up like 3% on your current trade, which is absolutely fine. So I would say once we're getting up here to the 0.5, take a little bit of money off the table just to pay yourself, raise your stop loss above your entry slightly. You cannot lose now anything anymore. And then you just let this ride and let this play out, because also here, see the RSI is gaining momentum here to go to the upside. Yesterday it looked much worse. Now we are seeing here finally some movement back into higher ranges and more bullishness on Ethereum, because also here I'm still waiting for this overall V-shaped recovery, and Ethereum is massively lagging behind when I look at other altcoins. Are we still lagging behind? We were close to get our entry here, but I think we need another day or two before we get a move here to $22.60. I'm not entering this before, because what could also happen is that we just go down like this here a little bit more in the green before we see that reversal. Of course, I don't think that we come back to like $15 or that we even touch here $16. But there is a scenario where we drop to like $20 and from there go back to the upside. So that's why I'm a little bit cautious here and will be waiting. But the MDX Algo indicator here, the scalp gradient, is telling me price has cooled down and is overall ready to push back to the upside. So I just want that we break back into the lower range here and from there opening then a new trade. The same with Solana. Solana got rejected here from that support area. Once again, it's again now resistance. Here again, guys, same playbook that we had already. We wait either that we come down to the golden ratio and enter from here. If we move above the 0.786, then this becomes our entry and trade us then into the $180 level overall. Here on the 4-hourly chart, there is a little bit more momentum to the downside, why I believe we could reach the golden ratio. The stochastic is about to give a sell signal. The MACD is looking bearish. RSI pointed to the downside. So it looks really like that there's a little bit more downside before we get a nice reversal. So get ready that we are potentially coming into the golden ratio, which will be a good entry level, and then trade this back to the upside. And guys, also on Bybit, you still get $500 for signing up with my link here and claim your airdrop position by depositing just $100, guys. You can withdraw the $100 once you have your position. It doesn't matter, guys. You know, deposit $100, take the $100 off again, trade with the $500. And remember, guys, I've shown it. I cannot count how many times I've shown you guys that with $500, $400, I made a couple thousand of dollars, even on low leverage. You know, so take advantage of that, because this is not here forever, guys. But also remember, you can only trade all these coins that are mentioned here. I'm gonna leave a link also in the description for that, where you can take advantage. Then INJ, from our entry, we moved here really close to this resistance level, got rejected basically from that. We will most likely come back to our entry level, maybe even a little bit lower. I might change this a little bit accordingly, because I believe we could do something like this. So you see, we gain a little bit more to the upside, but you also have a little bit bigger stop loss. Because here on the 4-hourly chart, it looks like that we are about to lose the momentum and go now into a corrective phase, because MACD is losing momentum. Stochastic gave already a sell signal. RSI also here coming up in a rounding topping shape. So we might get a small consolidation phase here, gradually down, potentially into this demand zone before we get a bounce back to the upside to the downward sloping trend line, which will be still the first target. Of course, the longer it takes that we get up there, the diminishing a little bit the profits will be, because we are going down by 6 cents, I think, every 4 hours or something like this. How much is this? 3 cents. 3 cents every 4 hours. So we are starting here with $23.26. And I would say worst case $21.26. So it's like $2 difference. So that is a 10% difference, guys. You know, so that makes a huge difference. So let's hope that we break here through $19.60 rather sooner than later. Then also Rune, our trade playing out nicely. Here I also believe that on the 4-hourly chart, Rune will come back at least to the 50 moving average, to test the 50 moving average and bounce from there. So if you missed your entry over here, you will get another chance to enter over the next coming hours, because also here everything looks toppy. Stochastic sell signal, RSI going down, MACD losing momentum on the bullish side. But don't be mistaken. So if we're turning around like this, even though price does something like this here, the target is the 200 moving average with the golden ratio. That remains. Nothing will change this. So remember that, because I don't see right now a bigger market crash happening where all these indicators start to turn south and taking a shit, and price will go much, much, much lower again. Doesn't look like it. Then GRT, I will be honest, I took profit on GRT. Remember, I gave you that trade all the way down here at 13 cents and 56 already. So that's where I entered this. And you could have entered here yesterday again at 14 cents 0.4. I took profit at 15 cents 15. So here in that topping candle, when we were up here at 15.3, I set a stop loss at 15.15 to get out of it. If you're still in this trade, set a stop loss at like 14.73. That should still give you like a 2.5% profit if you get stopped out. If you trade with leverage, it will be, of course, a little bit more. But for me, it was a spot position. I made over 12% on that trade, so I'm fine with that. But I'm also looking here to re-enter this. Currently here on the 4-hourly chart, you see price is running hot. But and we get here a really ugly candle that's closing in 9 minutes. We are looking toppy here across the indicators. So I'm fine if the price retraces back to $14, 14 cents 0.4, re-enter, and then trade this to 15 cents 6 approximately. Then Telegram also correcting right now. We were running here pretty hot over the last couple of days. Now we are here in a green phase. Potentially we get here a bottoming candle. The indicators looking a little bit overextended in terms of selling, because selling is going on here since Friday evening. So almost 2 days we are just selling, and the RSI also just going down. Stochastic also this last couple of hours overextended here. So there might be a bounce coming to the upside, but it will be maybe only to the downward sloping resistance line of that falling wedge to like $6.60 approximately. And from there we have to see what's going to happen. You see here this line, this upward sloping trend line is giving us a lot of resistance currently, and that is because of this demand area here. So once we are breaking this demand area, you will see a nice pop to the upside, as we have seen that here previously with these candles and these candles. The next time I believe it will be more sustainable, and we will then also continue to move into $7 and higher. So if you're looking for a trade on TON Telegram, I think either currently is a good moment to get in, or you wait another hour to get more confirmation. But I think if you get in now, it might be a good entry to trade this from here to $7. And the last one, AVAX. AVAX also on the 4-hourly chart, not really looking all too bullish right now. Let's have a look here on the higher time frames. Also, not really convinced here. I don't like how the stochastic is looking, but I must say MACD and RSI looking good. Price looks also good. If we come back here to $22.26 and the stochastic RSI is changing a little bit the trajectory, I might be enticed to enter this, but otherwise this could end up to be a fake out where we come a little bit lower, like $20.80, something like this. So we lose $1, roughly 4.3% or something like that, before we reverse to the upside. But the entry remains the same, because here is a resistance level that we need to break. And I only enter once we broke this resistance level to be sure that we get continuation. And guys, that's it for this Sunday. I hope you enjoyed this quick episode. Make sure that you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more profits tomorrow.